Haleemah and ET make their way to Europe. In this lesson, they explore a new context involving cobblestone patterns that are popular in cities like Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. Haleemah and ET will use mathematics to explore some relationships within the features of the cobblestone pattern.
These pictures are from Prague, which is the capital city of the Czech Republic in Europe. There are many sidewalks and streets with patterns made from gray and white stones.
Have you guys heard of Czechoslovakia? Then it changed to the Czech Republic.
Yes, I have.
It's a country in Europe. And these patterns, there's another sidewalk pattern up in the left-hand corner. And I was wondering if you've seen patterns like this made of stone. Sometimes people make patterns made of little tiles or glass, or maybe you've just seen a cobblestone street like on the right side. So have you seen these kind of patterns before?
Yes.
Yeah,
Can you tell me about it?
I've seen them in like home decorating stores, and they're just like made out of glass, I think.
Glass. How about you, ET?
So I've seen some in churches, which
Oh.
usually are stained glasses, but sometimes I've seen the tiles.
Haleemah and ET have seen these types of patterns in home decorating stores and churches. Have you seen patterns like this before? In this lesson, Haleemah and ET will explore similar patterns with cobblestones that correspond to a size number and consist of gray stones. Their goal of this lesson is to generalize a relationship between size number and the number of gray stones, and making meaning of their algebra in the cobblestone context. In this episode, Haleemah and ET start to make sense of the relationship between the size number and the number of gray stones.
Well, on size 3, I noticed that there are 3 tiles on the side. So I'll circle that.
Well, I noticed that there are 3 rows. Like in each gray tile, there are 3 gray sets, and in a gray set, there's 3 rows, 3 tiles in a row.
Along with size 5 too.
And they don't really correlate, but it seems that every size has a set of gray tiles where it has an extra tile in the bottom row. Like the size 3 has 4 tiles in a row, size 5 has 6 tiles in a row, and size 9 has 10 tiles.
Yeah.
Why don't you label what you've seen? So Haleemah, I just want to make sure I understand the language you're using. You said there's 3 on a side. Can you use your laser pointer and just point to what you mean by a side? So it's like the number of tiles in that column that's way on the left?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, awesome. And tell me what you noticed there about the number of tiles in that side or that first column.
That there's 3 of them.
And I see you marked up some other ones too.
Yeah, at the bottom there's also 3.
Okay. And what about for size 5?
Same thing for size 5.
There's 5 tiles in that first row or column, and then 5 in the bottom row.
Yeah.
Nice.
And 9 in the first column and 9 in the bottom row.
Nice, thank you. And ET, tell me about what you circled and labeled?
So I circled the 4 in this second set of gray tiles because there was 4 tiles in the row instead of it being 3 like the rest of it. And in size 5, there were 6 tiles in this set instead of 5. And with 9, it was 10 instead of 9.
And did you notice something about how those numbers compared to the size number?
Well, they were all one size or one number above the size.
Can you say more? Like, give an example.
If the size number was 6, the tile in the bottom row would have been 7.
Ah, cool. So could you write that so we can see the relationship of the 4, the 6, and the 10 to the 3, the 5, and the 9 for one of them? Can you tell us about that?
So it would be adding the size number plus 1 tile or 1 gray tile. And that would give us the new number of tiles in the second set of gray stones.
That's a cool idea. So Haleemah, what do you think of that?
I think that's really interesting.
Can you see, like, could you use your laser pointer, Haleemah, and point to where he sees 3 tiles and then 1, or stones, 3 stones and then 1 stone, the 3 plus 1?
Yeah, so I guess this is the 3, and then this extra tile right here, another tile right here.
What do you think, ET? Is that how you saw it?
Yes.
Cool.
I agree with Haleemah. This is pretty interesting. Haleemah and ET are seeing the size number all over their figures. First, Haleemah saw the size number in the columns of each figure. Then, ET pointed out the same pattern for the rows. Then, ET noticed a different pattern for the stones in the middle section of the cobblestone pattern. ET said that each row had 1 more stone than the size number. So, when the size number was 3, it was 4. When the size number was 5, it was 6. And finally, when the size number was 9, there were 10 stones. In the next episode, Haleemah and ET will make sense of a new relationship between the size number and the number of gray stones. They will then start to think about how they can use these relationships to find the total number of gray stones.